I joined a baby and me class as a father and was called a child lover. So I blasted the class on social media. My wife and I just had our first kid 5 months ago and the process has been exhausting. Since my wife makes more money than me, we decided that I would be a stay-at-home dad so that we could lessen the cost of daycare and getting a babysitter. It's been working since we had the baby, but because we stepped out of traditional gender roles, I still have a lot to learn. That's why I decided to take a baby and me class for beginner parents. When I first checked the flyer and website it said, "New parents welcomed. All are welcome to join," so I booked a chair for my first class with them. I was really excited to take this class because it makes the process so much easier for both my wife and I. It's also such a great bonding experience with my daughter. When I got to the class, the lady at the front desk assumed I was just dropping off my daughter for my wife to start the class, but when I corrected her she gave a shocked smile saying okay. I just brushed it off thinking it's whatever. Going into my class I realized I was the only guy in there. Everyone else noticed too and started whispering. I don't like when people talk about me behind my back or even when I'm in the room with them, so it was a little hard to deal with all the whispering. Especially since they were actually being very obvious. I tried not to feel like the odd man out because I was here to be a better parent for my child. It didn't matter what all these people thought. When class started, I could still feel them looking at me along with the teacher constantly making eye contact with me when she explained things a bit slower. One of the things we were supposed to learn was changing diapers from disposable to reusable ones. The teacher ended up walking up to me and quietly asking if I wanted her or another mom to change my daughter instead. I thought it was really weird that she felt uncomfortable with me changing my own daughter's diaper, but thought that I would be comfortable with a complete stranger doing the same. At this point, I was at my wit's end but I politely said no. When I was changing her, I heard someone whisper child lover. Safe to say I hated this class. Everyone was extremely judgmental and wouldn't give me a moment's peace. I really just wanted to leave because I was no longer comfortable nor was I wanted. Thankfully the next part was about breastfeeding and I was asked to leave the room. I took my daughter, packed my stuff, and I was gone. When I got home, the first thing I did was leave a 1-star review saying, "They are not very inclusive or welcoming to fathers both by staff and members." An hour later, my friend called me, but instead of hearing him over the phone, it was his wife. She is a volunteer helper at Baby and Me. Word had apparently gotten out that a guy took a class at the center so she asked if it was me and if I was the one who wrote that review. I said yes, and I meant every word of my review. At first she said maybe I misunderstood their actions and they were just trying to be helpful. Then she said technically this class has always been for moms so maybe it was just weird seeing a man there. I told her that both the flyer and website said all were welcome so it wasn't a class meant for just moms and I was treated very unfairly. She countered that with, maybe your wife should be the one to go instead since she is the mom and it would make everyone feel more comfortable. Again, I told her about the flyer but said she shouldn't worry about me making anyone uncomfortable since I wouldn't be going back there. I hung up and went to leave another review. This time, I mentioned that they called me a child lover because I was learning how to change my daughter's diaper, along with everything else that happened. In just 2 days, the Baby and Me class had its ratings go down from 4.3 to 2.1 because other people started writing about their horrible experiences at the center just because they weren't your average looking mom.